Hey, hi, it's Richie and
Wendy Oldani.
we're here to discuss Wendy's new brand of clothing, Love Shows the Way. I wanted to ask you, why is sustainability a guiding principle for you? What drew you into this world
Well,
of sustainability?
I've been in the garment manufacturing business for 15 years, and I have to say that I've been a contributor to this very polluting industry. And I know better, and I'm far enough along in my career that I can use my skill set and my network to drive change. And I feel it's a responsibility of mine. So I need to do this for myself so I have control, and it's just the right time to do it.
Absolutely. So what materials are you thinking are going to go into this product?
Well, hemp and organic cotton. My first line will be just those two fibers. Hemp is an amazing fiber that's been around for 2,000 years, and in recent history it's been suppressed. And it's been suppressed like so many things that are rising right now. Women, people of color, non-binary gender, hemp.
Yeah.
Everything that has been in suppression is rising. And so I want to use hemp. It's a durable fiber. It grows from seed to finished plant in 100 days. It brings carbon dioxide down from the atmosphere into the soil. And it doesn't need pesticides or herbicides. And there's a whole story, and I won't go into it, but one of the reasons why hemp was suppressed is because DuPont and Monsanto couldn't create their products around this crop. And so cotton became king. Cotton needs a lot of herbicides, pesticides to do industrial quantities of cotton. So that's why the cotton that I'm using in my supply chain is organic. So the farmers aren't getting sick from the heavy usage of spraying all the pesticides, and the people downstream of the water, in the water supply in the surrounding neighborhoods aren't getting sick.
So non-organic fibers in the clothing industry have a huge environmental impact and social impact. It sounds like a lot of pollutants.
Yes, even as we spoke about. You had mentioned a lot of the outdoor people, who love to be out in the wilderness. They need their outdoor gear, and that's polyester. And polyester is a totally synthetic fiber, and it sheds. So we have. What's really cool is that the millennial generation and then Generation Z coming up behind the millennials are going to start demanding change in the supply chain, and I'm super refreshed by it. It's going to be a lot of work because you're taking old structures that have been existing and been running like an assembly line, and turning away from it and having to rebuild something that's unknown. But circular economy in fashion is coming up, where the recycled polyester can be used. So
excellent.
So let's say we'll use Patagonia because most of their products are virgin polyester, and they're switching to use recycled polyester. And then they're also have an end of the life plan for their garments. Things that are broken cannot be repaired. Some of these can go to for lack of a better word, a grinder, where these garments the zippers are taken off, or all the trims, and the polyester is ground up into like a fluff, and then respun into a new polyester yarn that can be knitted or woven into a new product. So the circular economy in fashion is starting to take hold. It's like a seed that's just like poking up out of the soil right now, and it hasn't blossomed, but it's coming, and it's super exciting.
Yeah, and super intuitive as well. It's sort of one of those old knowledges that we've had to forget.
That's been suppressed.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
And so you've described yourself to me as a design supply chain expert.
I am.
Is that correct? And,
yeah.
and can you tell me a bit about what your experience is in that field, and what expertise you bring to your brand?
Sure. So all my whole 20s and 30s, I worked my tail off. I worked for huge corporate entities like May Company and Lord & Taylor and Mervyn's, where when we would put, let's say we put a t-shirt into production, there could be 100,000 units cut, like a lot. So I came from a corporate environment where I had to wear a suit jacket and pantyhose, like that was the stuffy environment. But it groomed me in a way. And so through my career, I became less corporate and more small brand focused, and finally like startup focused, because I traveled to so many factories around the world. I have this massive network of people who know how to make things happen. And so I've been, for the last couple of years, working with small, well-funded entrepreneurs who have a vision for what product they want, and I make it happen for them. And with that, it's tiring. So I'm like, why can't I do this for myself? And to be quite personal, I'm going through my own awakening, just spiritually, realizing that my soul is here for a purpose, and I need to be aligning my passion and talents with the purpose portion. I need to merge back these two. And through my 20s and 30s, it was more about chasing a paycheck or experience or climbing, the ladder in my career. But now that's kind of washed away, and I'm glad I had that experience. It's going to make me more potent in my spiritual work. And this brand, the world doesn't need another product, but my hope with this product is to help push hemp back to where it needs to be as a fiber that can compost. Like this sweater, it's hemp and organic cotton for my brand. When it's done, it can be ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It'll degrade. It'll degrade quickly.
That's great. That's almost like that. It's like surprising to hear that about a product. Like, oh, it's going to degrade? Wow, that's amazing.
I think there's an awakening happening. I see it through Instagram. I see a lot of people who wanting to become coaches, like coaches for helping people. And I think there's an awakening that's happening. And it's in alignment because we've done some disrespectful things to planet Earth. We haven't been
a few, yeah.
We haven't been thinking about the thing that sustains us at all.
Yeah.
And in order to have a paradigm shift of real action and behavior for the masses, there are many people doing great work, but we need the masses to adopt a lifestyle that's less consumer driven and more back in tune with nature, kind of like how my great grandmother lived. She planted her food. I mean, she taught us how to grow food. She canned food. She made her own clothing. And not that we all individually have to go back to that, but through communities, I think people can have these roles that they play that keep us more centered and connected less digitally, and more connected to Earth and each other. And I think it'll bring back more happiness and definitely lighten our impact on planet Earth.
Well, excellent. Well, maybe we could step outside in a bit and try one or two on or something. Yeah. Cheers again.
Cheers.
So we are both wearing some of the Love Shows the Way line. And these appear to be, are these snakes?
They are snakes.
What's the symbolism behind that, Wendy?
Yes. The snake is about transformation. It's about shedding skin and growth. A snake can constantly grow, just if it's being fed the right things. And that's my philosophy in life. I constantly want to grow and grow to be a better human being, a bigger contributor to society. So launching my line with the snake, it's called the Sailor Snake Cardigan. It represents the mission of growth.
Sailor snake?
Yeah, Sailor.
Oh, lovely.
The Sailor Snake Cardigan.
Is that because it's navy blue? Or?
No, Sailor's my daughter.
Aww.
And in Chinese astrology, I'm a snake, and, and she's a snake. So
what are the odds?
Yeah, you are wearing the color that will be available right away out of the gate. And I'm wearing a color that'll be available in a couple of months. And so this is like an everyday cardigan.
Yes.
I mean, yes, it has a snake on it, but it's not like in your face.
No.
It is an everyday staple. It's breathable. That's the beautiful thing about hemp. It breathes. And it's antimicrobial naturally, so it doesn't stink. So it's like you can wear it a couple of times before having to wash it. And we can go into it, but laundry has an environmental impact. So if you can wash your clothes less, that's what you should be doing.
Oh, the Love Shows the Way look. What makes it a Santa Barbara brand?
I think the Santa Barbara customer is more traveled and awakened. They understand the environmental aspect of what's going on in humanity, and so they will ask the questions about, you know, was this ethically produced, was the supply chain clean, and it's an educated customer. And it's also, we also have this interesting microclimate of weather too, and sweaters, even if it's a hot summer day at the beach, at 7 p.m. it could turn and you need a sweater. So yeah, it's built for the Santa Barbara lifestyle. It's also built for the customer who is educated and has questions.
Well, lucky us, we get to just now relax and enjoy the rest of our day wearing comfy clothes. But we're excited what we've heard about, that maybe the future of fashion will be a little more sustainable thanks to brands like Love Shows the Way and creators like Wendy. And I recommend you check it out when it hits the streets. And until then, here's cheers to more sustainable fashion and good wine, because why not? Good wine goes well with everything. Well, see you later.